Did the Minister of State, Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia pay a visit to India during Operation Sindoor between the days of 7th May to 10th May? What was the reason? Were they afraid that India might attack their nuclear assets in Pakistan? And were they trying to dissuade India from doing that? But India went ahead and did that anyway. Although I don't think the Saudis would have explained or revealed to India that they have all these things and that they have indeed purchased a bomb from Pakistan. I mean, that would be bad, right? I mean, it's supposed to be an understanding, hush, hush, secret, secret. Once in a while, it flares up, like the one time when Imran Khan went to Saudi Arabia and started lecturing like this to King Salman, and he was looking very perplexed as to what the hell was this guy saying. And he does this for about a minute, rants, turns around and walks away. So you saw all that stuff happen. And I think after that, there was something interesting that was happening. There was a United Nations General Assembly meeting for which Imran Khan and his then Chief of Army Staff, Bajwa, both took the Saudi plane to come into New York. But then on the way back, the Saudi plane left without them and told them to find their own way back to Pakistan. Pakistanis will take any kind of insult shit from the Saudis because the Saudis just keep throwing money at them. But why are the Saudis throwing money at them? So I'm going to talk a little bit about what transpired during this meeting, what exactly was asked for by the Saudis, and did India say yes or no, and so on and so forth. This is something that has not been revealed much. I did some research and I came up with all this data. Take a look at it. It's an infographic as always. It also captures the timeline of what happened during Operation Sindoor. As always, please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. Here we go. As India faced the crisis, which was on the 22nd of April, when 26 married men were gunned down in front of their significant others, and when asked why you are doing this, then one of the shooters told, go ask Modi or something like that, or go tell Modi or something like that. It was intended for maximum impact, and I think it did get under the skin of the Modi government, and they decided to do something about it. We know all these things. For example, on the 22nd of April, that was the catalyst, and then on the 6th night, 7th early morning, the operation begins. India launches Operation Sindoor with strikes against terrorist targets. 9 different areas, but I think 12 targets were taken out, including Jaish-e-Mohammed's headquarters. Many people died there, and all that stuff we know. Then what happened? On May 7th, 8th, a high-level Saudi official arrives in New Delhi unannounced for talks. This is like panic trip. And then on 10th, the operation concludes, Operation Sindoor, and the initial phase of the operations have concluded, but there is always the door open to do more things. Who was this person who came? Adel Al-Jubeir, the official sent to mediate the crisis. He holds multiple positions like Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. He's a cabinet member, and he's also the climate envoy of Saudi Arabia. So what was the reason for this unannounced visit? Well, he wanted to act as a mediator and convey the kingdom's concern regarding the heightened tensions, with the primary objective to de-escalate the conflict between India and Pakistan. And India's stance was explained by the External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, who said that India justifies its military actions and that he shared India's perspectives on firmly countering terrorism. Do you know who is the biggest funder of all this terrorism? Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Do you know how this happened? Well, way back in the 18th century, there were 2 individuals, Muhammad bin Saud, who started uniting all the tribes in that area that went on to become Saudi Arabia. And there was a radical preacher, Muhammad ibn Abd Wahhab. The Wahhabism has come from that sect. These two had an agreement. One goes after and does all the running of the country, and the other one has unlimited access to funds to spread Wahhabism. This is 18th century, okay? And that's how we have come today, where this branch of Wahhabi guys, they are still very active. They continue to preach a radical version of Islam. Of course, we know that Pakistan turned radical under Zia-ul Haq, and things just unraveled, came off the wheel. It is believed that he was eliminated because he was taking Pakistan down a very radical route, and the Americans wanted to put a stop to it. They were willing to sacrifice their own ambassador for that. This is one story that does the round. Of course, nobody is going to confirm that. Be that as it may, now what you have is a few years ago, King Abdul Aziz ibn Saud died, and I think he died in the 50s or 60s. I don't remember exactly. Now, he had 6 sons. And in sequence, from the eldest now to the youngest Salman, each one was king for a few years. They either were assassinated or died of natural causes. Now we have the 6th son. His name is Salman. A long name, but Salman is a name that everybody knows. And Salman's son is the current heir apparent and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman. So now you see how even inside Saudi Arabia, all these different wings of the dynasty have been clipped, and you have only one now, Salman and his son Mohammed bin Salman. At last count, we had about 15 to 20,000 princes and princesses of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and all of them have to be kept by the privy purse, is what I would call it. And that means that Saudi Arabia needs a lot of money just to keep these people happy and keep a lid on any kind of trouble that they may want to create. And for that, they need money. And where do they get money? They have to sell oil. And they've also said that the minimum amount of price per barrel of crude, in order for them to maintain the current lifestyle and also to give all the different subsidies to its population, is $75 a barrel. And this was about 10-15 years ago. Today, probably it's at 85 because of inflation. However, we are seeing that the current price of crude is around 60. And that means Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is hurting. I don't know how long they can keep it up. Expect something to blow up there also. Economically, of course, I'm not talking about anything else, but clearly Saudi Arabia has a problem on their hands. And one wonders, what is it that this person, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia, had to say? Well, it looks like it was a part of a diplomatic effort that involved both nations at the heart of the crisis. He went from New Delhi to Islamabad to try and continue de-escalation efforts. You know, this whole thing was choreographed so loudly by that rabid mullah who's now a field marshal, a failed marshal. And I mean, he said that Muslims are separate, Hindus are separate. Rascal, you have a piece of hair, you want to send it to me? Let's compare how different you and I are. We will know. Anyway, so this high-level visit by a Saudi official to India and then from here to Pakistan tells us that Saudi Arabia has huge stakes in the betterment or in the maintenance of Pakistan as an entity that is manageable, which only tells us that perhaps their nuclear missiles are also stored in Pakistan, and that way Kingdom of Saudi Arabia can have a plausible deniability clause with US saying, look, we don't have any missiles, we don't have anything, we are not doing anything, while they have this secret arrangement with Pakistan that perhaps if Iran ever explodes an atomic bomb, then they would have the same thing for which they have already paid to Pakistan. How much of that failed marshal has got, I have no idea, but this story refuses to go away. That's why I did this program. I hope you understand that we have connected the dots here, and if you have any differences in opinion or you have facts that rebut this, please feel free to send it by way of comments. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.